Okay. Alright. Everybody, welcome to the Touhou Project panel, Youmacon 2011. Woo! Seems like a much bigger turnout than last year.
I wonder why.
Alright, this is the Touhou Project panel. Raise the rainbow. First off, this is what I like to start off most of my panels with. Who is new to the series?
What is new?
Alright, okay, we've got some new people. Let's see. Okay, also we should probably introduce ourselves. I'm Andrew, I'm dressed as Nitori. Get more for your money with Nitori.
Hi, and I'm Tracy, I'm dressed as Aya.
Alright, how many Touhou veterans we got out there? Excellent.
This is our first row. Damn.
Alright, okay. Who has beaten the game, who's beaten any of the games with 1 CC? Normal or higher? 1 continue.
1 continue, no. 0 CC,
Normal or higher, no continues. There we go, that's what I meant.
I still hate Kaiju lunatics. You killed me a virtual wind god. What about saying?
Kirby lasers. Okay. Alright. Okay, moving on. Who plays on easy mode?
Hey, these arts for score on easy.
Naughty! Easy mode, though. How'd that get in there? Anyways. Alright. So first off, we're going to go really briefly through the history of Touhou, just overview of the series. This year I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to give some more background on the yokai, because there's a ton of yokai in Touhou. We'll get to that. So first off, what is Touhou? Touhou Project is it's a top-down shooter game series. It's a doujin game series. Even Zune considers his own official works as fan works. Touhou, the characters Touhou mean eastern or eastern direction or east direction in Japanese. It started off as kind of like Breakout or Arkanoid. And then eventually he switched to what we know now as shoot 'em ups, Bullet Hell, Danmaku. And the Touhou fandom, as you guys can clearly see if you look around you, has blossomed not only in Japan but worldwide through not just the games but through fan art, doujinshi, remixes, fan videos, fan games. Okay. Yeah. And so moving along. Alright, so we're going to talk about Danmaku here. Danmaku literally means bullet curtain or bullet hell, or curtain fire, there we go. Can be easily described as bullet hell. It has all these bullets that just come at you in all these different shapes. So, some shapes are insane.
Heart stars and rainbows?
Heart stars and rainbows, yes. Marissa has rainbows, so it's okay. The bullets in each Touhou game pretty much makes up the all your stage patterns. You're not really ever dodging obstacles in the game. Mostly you're going to be dodging actual enemies or just bullets that are really pretty. But if you look at them, you'll die. Here I've got a little quote from Raymer's spell card rules: unrivaled in beauty and thought. I don't think there's a better way to describe Danmaku than that. You know what? It's hard to describe what Danmaku is in and of itself. So why don't we show you? Okay, let me see. Let me see.
Essay. 10 desires.
Essay. Hold on.
10 desires.
Let me see if this computer doesn't hate this.
Knock out in 3
You need
minutes.
V-Pack.
Oh, hold on.
Knock out in 3
Yeah, I forgot
seconds.
the controller.
Keyboards for
Okay.
winners.
If you want, you can use mine.
Hold on.
If you want, I'll
Hold on. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me get a volunteer.
He knows everything.
Let's do MK. Let's do MK Choi. We got our Satori here.
Mention the bosses.
Keyboard or a gamepad?
Keyboard.
Keyboard? Okay. Yeah, but we gotta make this look impressive.
Do you have practice on?
I have not gotten very far in this. I mean, I've gotten to Oku, but I've always lost so many lives to Rin that it's just ridiculous. Like, I'll go in not losing a single life, and then once I get to Rin stage 5, it's over.
Why? The best stage.
That cat. That damn cat.
That cat.
Alright, so, as you see, we've got Rainbow right here. If you see right there, that little circle in the middle of her, that is her hitbox. That is the part you must absolutely protect. If that's hit, you're dead. Here you've got, you know, pretty much your everyday, like, shooter stats and stuff. You've got your score, you've got high score, lives. Power is the strength of your normal bullets. In this game, it's also how many bombs you have. Every whole number is one bomb.
Box lolly. Bucket lolly.
Bucket lolly.
And then here you go, right there. Oh no! No pressure, okay. But we've got Kisame here. This is our bucket lily, the one that everybody knows.
Bucket Rocker.
Bucket Rockily. Alright. So yeah, just see how like he's getting it right up next to those bullets. You don't have to, but it really raises your score. You get better score multiplier. Grazing, that's what it's called. Yeah. And so we should be almost at Yamame.
You don't mind timing out the first card.
That's cool. We can do that. Alright, so a little bit story, little pre-fight banter. What's up? Collectibles? Oh, yes, collectibles. If you guys were looking, you saw like little red key boxes. Those power up your power, which gives you more bombs and more bullet strength. Blue is the little blue things are score. In this game, there are little like star shapes. Those if you collect enough of those, give you an extra life. She gave you thug disease.
Dog disease.
Oh my goodness.
Someone played it.
Chaz, you need to come to every convention I do this panel at.
It's a bomb game because I went crazy.
Okay. And this is a bomb. This is Rainbow's bomb. It's clearing bullets and protecting her at the same time.
Breaking these and break the bomb.
Yeah.
Extend. I want to talk about the extend.
Yes. All right. So we're gonna stop there. Thank you, Satori.
Nicely played.
See, I've heard you talk about like your plays on Skype and stuff and Facebook. Well, mostly Skype, but I've never actually seen you play. It is a thing of beauty. No.
Okay, well, let's.
Oh, Joseph.
Good job.
All right. So that was Danmaku. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Moving on.
I only actually have friends that like a big Satori's. Question here.
I have Satori on Marissa A, but that's it.
The best stuff.
Yes.
You said there would be cheese. Where's the cheese?
Oh, you know what? I totally forgot the cheese.
Oh,
I have snacks. I have snacks for you.
You can find it now.
he's a mouse. He's a mouse right now. He has
But
teeth.
Nancy can find it.
I don't think you can find anything.
That was
Okay, so moving on to the history of Touhou. So Touhou's been around for a long time. Well, not a long time, but kind of a long time.
50 years is a long time.
It is. So yeah. Oh gosh, it is the 15th year anniversary.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, yeah. So Touhou's been around since 1996 on the PC 98. The first game, as I said before, highly responsive to prayers on the PC 98, which features Mima as the last boss. Shouts out to Mima. Okay. Nobody remembers Mima. Anyway.
He's in Touhou 14.
I can feel it in my bones.
That's what they said in
I want to believe. I really do. Okay. The first game was a breakout style game. Breakout, Arkanoid, that kind of game. And then it became, you know, what you saw there, Bullet Hell, Danmaku. In 2002, Zune switched from the PC 98 to the Windows platform with Embodiment of the Scarlet Devil, probably one of the most well-known games in the series, with some of the most beloved characters. Most recently, they've released their 13th official game, like non-spinoff, called 10 Desires, which was released at Comic-Con 2000 or Comic-Con 80. There we go, 2011. Okay. All right. Okay.
Can I have a barrel of beer?
Where's the game? I didn't dress as Zune this time. I dressed as Zune at ColossalCon. And I had this huge glass mug, you could have seen it. So this is Zune. This is the creator of the Touhou series. He's the sole member of Team Shanghai Alice. His real name is Junya Ota. And he used to work at Taito. I think he's still in the video game industry. I don't know where. He's still, depending on what game he's working on, he'll be credited either as Zune or as Junya Ota. You know, as you guys were just mentioning, he's extremely fond of beer. You know, the joke is he keeps Japan's beer industry going. He started making the Touhou games because he really couldn't find a game that he liked to play. So he made a game that he wanted, a game in the style of what he wanted to play. Also, he uses Touhou as a platform to release his music as well. So I mean, songs you may have heard of that have been, you know, remixed time and time again. Bad Apple.
Flowering Night.
UNON was her.
Flowering Night.
Flowering Nights.
Necrophantasia.
Wait, hold on.
Order of light.
Candid Friend?
Help me, Aaron.
Okay, anyways. And so here at the bottom is a quote from Zune. He says that he's going to keep making games even if all his fans disappear, because he loves making Touhou games. So, you know, if you guys plan on continuing to be Touhou fans, it looks pretty good for you. For all of us. So,
Alright, now, Touhou has actually made such a splash where it's actually appeared in Guinness Book of World Records.
That's pretty.
2011. So it is shown up in there for being the most prolific fan-made shooter series.
for reference, prolific means, you know, continuous, a lot. Anyways, yeah, it was featured in this year's Gamers Edition of the Guinness Book of World Records. I own a copy myself because it had Touhou. But what's funny is they, if you guys can see from where you're sitting, this screenshot they say is Imperishable Knight, but if you look closely, that's Hina. Hina was in Mountain of Faith. So, whoops.
Hina face.
Hina beard. Her beard. Okay. All right. So switching gears from the actual, physical history of Touhou, we're going to start talking a bit more about the mythos and plot of the series.
Canon or non-canon?
What? Canon. Sticking with canon. We'll mention a few non-canon
Be careful.
things.
Thank you.
But yeah.
Okay, so Gensokyo is formerly a haunted region of Japan terrorized by yokai. Yokai are demons.
Yeah,
Japanese
yokai
demons.
are. They fall under a wide variety
They're
of
really more
creatures.
like Eastern
Most specifically of ghosts.
version of.
Just say non-humans.
Yeah, essentially non-human, various forms of
Actually, the
non-human.
best way I think to
Anything
think
not
of them
human.
are Eastern version of the Fae.
Okay.
Yeah, they do
Well,
actually like faith folk a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, there's tons of different things. There's yokai that look like humans. There's yokai of different events or happenings, objects. Like medicine she's a doll yokai. There's Yukari who's a gap yokai. There's Satori who's a Satori.
Really, yokai. If someone gets old enough,
And Gensokyo, getting back on track, Gensokyo is believed to encompass parts of Nagano and the Yamanashi Prefecture, including the Yatsugatake mountain range and Lake Suwa, which some speculate to be the lake that you see at the end of Mountain of Faith.
Youmacon!
Thus, Suwako is Suwa Lake, maybe? Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay. And so here is a map of Gensokyo. This one is pretty up to date. It's up to Touhou 12 UFO. So, you've got, it's very hard to see, but the Palanquin ship, where that Marasa pilots, and there's also, everybody knows this one. This is the Scarlet Devil Mansion right next to Misty Lake. Misty Lake is where Cherno presides. Everybody's favorite dumb fairy. Everybody's favorite dumb ice fairy. We've got the human village right over here. We have Marissa's little house right here, Alice's house not too far. All encompassed within the Forest of Magic. Renosuke's shop, right on the edge of the Forest of Magic and human village. Bunch of places. Here's Marissa on a cliff. Anyways.
Hakure.
Oh yeah, that's very important. Hakure Shrine. Hakure Shrine is where the main character lives and loafs around. And as you can see, it is on the border of Gensokyo. The shrine is on the border of Gensokyo that separates Gensokyo from the outside world. Didn't mention this before. Gensokyo was separated from the outside world by one of the Hakure, one of the ancestors of Reimu, and Yukari Yakumo, in order to protect the yokai and humans of the outside world. But what had been happening during the early Meiji period was that faith in yokai started diminishing. So and yokai live off of faith, or faith and belief. So people don't believe in them, they're going to disappear. So they sealed them off from the world to protect the yokai and also to protect humans from being eaten by yokai. And then she also created spell card rules in addition to that, but we'll get to that at a later point. Oh, hey, there it is.
Coincidence!
Segue. Okay. Anyways, here are the spell card rules. I'm not going to go over all of them. These are actually just like the first half of. Wow.
Wait,
We
what?
have the spell card rules. Or is that a spell card?
You actually have a spell
There
card.
we go. Spell cards right here.
Cool!
But the spell card rules were put in place so that it was easy for yokai to create incidents, easy for humans to stop incidents from occurring. and pretty much to protect everyone and reduce the chances of fatalities. So moving on. Okay. All right. So the characters. There are a ton of characters. We're probably at, I think, we're over 140 right now. 140, 150, somewhere around there.
Oh man, 13.
Anyways, we've got a ton of characters from Touhou 1 through 13.
What's that ordinary type?
There are like
Yeah. 4.
3 or 4. There's actually a few.
Let's see.
I mean, there's only like one human character, human-looking male character that's been shown. All right. So.
Okay, this would be Reimu Hakure, who's the main character of the Touhou series. She's been playable in every single title, and the main ones, yeah. And she is the Shrine Maiden of Paradise, who upholds the Hakure border and solves incidents.
Right. Yeah, she's the main character. The Hakure Shrine Maidens have been pretty much in charge of Gensokyo, keeping it safe, keeping the border against the Hakure border up. Her special power is she can fly on her own, and she takes everything very, very slowly. She's sort of at her own pace. She's very leisurely. That's the word I was looking for. She's very leisurely. She is a slacker. But she does hardly ever get donations to her shrine. In fan depictions of Reimu, her armpits are pretty hot, right? And she's usually shown as being really desperate for money. So as you can see here, going from left to right, this is the evolution of Reimu throughout the games. As you can see, Zune is not very consistent, to say the least. I don't know. My favorite is UFO Reimu.
I like Zombie Raymond.
Zombie Reimu from Mountain Fame. But yeah, so she's seen purple hair and then black hair. But yeah, and brown hair. But well, I'm just doing the main games, the Zune art. All right, and then here's player 2, Marissa. She's been in almost every game. I think everything except the first one. Yeah, everything but the first one. She is she's the ordinary black magician.
Double agent.
And she likes to borrow things. But first off, she's a witch. She's a human witch though. She's not a yokai witch like Alice is. So she has a normal human lifespan. She has to work really hard for her powers. She's always trying to one-up Reimu because of this, because for Reimu everything comes easy. She does have a tendency to borrow things, not only in fandom, but a lot in canon. Even during spacing, even in the games, she steals special spell cards and special moves from other characters. Like from Katsuli, from Yuka. From Yuka came the Master Spark. The Master Spark is Marissa's it's her signature move, but it actually didn't originate from Marissa. It originated from Yuka. And then the non-directional laser from Katsuli.
Right, yeah.
Right. And here's the evolution of Marissa. So, she started off with red hair. That's when she was still mentoring under Mima. And again, Zune art. What can I say? Actually, I really kind of hate the UFO costume design. The art's okay, but the costume's kind of atrocious.
And from Marissa.
I don't know. Personally, mine is my favorite design is not even on here. It's a design not done by Zune. It was the one for Curiosities of Lotus Asia, which is a little corset thing going on. All right. And there are a ton of different characters. Pretty much most yokai you can think of, there's a Touhou for it. If there's not one for it yet, there probably will be in the future. You know what? Let's have some of our cosplayers stand up. All right. So we've got Kimberly, we love you. I didn't even see you back there. Anyways. Let me see. Let's name off a few. Oh, here's one I haven't seen before.
Come on, step up.
We have the Horned Hermit here. She has her own graphic novel thing. She is what? Well, Renosuke doesn't have his own graphic novel. He has his own novel series. Oh, yes, actually, there is like, okay, the Touhou characters almost entirely female, like 99.9% female.
97.
Except for Renosuke, he's one of the few that have been shown. He has art, and he's half human. He's half yokai. There's a lot of he's paired with a lot of times everyone and a lot of times no one. And wow, okay, we have all my Midwest Touhou buddies up here. So we've got Nazrin, the very tall, the tall, clever commander right here. Hirokanobu as a Yuko, the Yurei ghost. We've got 3 raisins? Yes, 3. California raisins. All right. But yeah.
3 Suwakos. 3 Suwakos.
Oh, do we have 3?
Yes.
Oh. We have 3 Suwakos, 2 Satoris. Okay. We've got an Earth Rabbit. We got Tui. We've got Erin Yagokoro. She's from the moon. Not the moon in Japan. The moon. And we've got a couple Cure House. We've got Yomo. Sorry for everyone I don't mention. Suika. Sanai. Okay. Plan.
My drinking buddy.
Okay. All right. So there's a ton of characters. I can't name them all right now because we're gonna run out of time for the panel. All right. Thank you, Touhou cosplayers. Everybody, give a round of applause. Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier. The origins of some of the yokai from the series. There's a ton of yokai. I love this picture because it mixes Zun's yokai and sort of combines them with the mythological yokai that they come from. And in the center you've got Akyu who records all the history of Gensokyo. I believe she's the 9th incarnation. Yeah. 9? Because Cherno. Blame Cherno. That's what's up with 9. Anyways. Alright, so, you know, I'm Nitori, so I have to start with Kappa. Anyways, so the Kappa is, for those who don't know, it's a water yokai who, the water yokai that sort of looks like a turtle, frog, I don't know, it's got a beak also with hair.
Think of Golda from Pokemon.
Kind of like Golda from Pokemon. Anyways, but they're kind of mischievous, but they're very polite. But they really like to sumo wrestle. But they're a yokai, so they're a lot stronger than humans. If you're challenged to a sumo match with a yokai or with a kappa, they've got this dish on their head. It kind of looks like a bald spot, and they keep water in there. That the water is the source of their powers. So what you do if challenged by a kappa or confronted by a kappa is you politely bow, and the kappa, being as polite as they are, will bow to you, and all their water will spill out, and they will lose all their powers and will have to retreat back to the water.
That's kind of mean to let your path off.
That's exactly how you clear stage 3 of Mount No Faith.
Okay, next up is Hanashi Tengu, which is Pro Tengu. And generally in mythology, they're known to be aggressive and really strong and agile, and they're well versed in human weaponry. You know, they can handle swords, muskets, all of that. They also are known to have the ability to fly, teleport, cloud up mines, and even shapeshift. And well, as mentioned at the bottom, a little trivia lesson is that Tengus are said to have taught some of Japanese greatest swordsmen their skills.
Yeah, and they're not just good with like bladed weapons, as you might think of, like, you know, kind of feudal Japan. They're also very adept at you know, all human weaponry, including like muskets, you know, of the Meiji era. So they've taught some of Japan's greatest swordsmen, greatest spearmen, greatest sharpshooters. All right, and we have the kitsune. We only have one kitsune. We have one around here. Anyways, so the kitsune is a yokai that it's a lot of yokai. They have this thing where if they live for so long, they grow an extra tail. Kitsune or foxes sort of grow. According to Japanese legend, they grow an extra tail every 100 years. And once they've grown 9 tails, they become just ridiculously strong. Yeah, there's that number 9 again. Anyways, they're pretty good at shape-shifting. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see here. Right there in her hands is Ken. Anyways, as you can see on this picture here, this is a fable about a kitsune named Kuzunoha, who had married she shapeshifted, you know, from a kitsune into a human. She seduced this man, bore his child, and then just left one day. It's kind of sad. It's really sad. And so there's Kuzunoha's child, you know, seeing the mother leave. So, anyways, yeah, everybody loves cats. These are the Nekomata. There are now 2 in the series. There's Chen, who lives at Myonigo with you, and Orin, who lives with Satori in the Palace of the Earth Spirits. If you can see here, there's Nazrin and Oku. Anyways, the Nekomata are cat yokai. They're pretty vengeful spirits. Their whole thing is they hold grudges against people who like abuse or abandon cats, and they like to seek vengeance on them. And it's said that after a cat reaches 40 years old, it splits, its tail splits, and it becomes a Nekomata. And in Touhou, the Nekomata have the interesting ability to transform into like an actual little cat and then a human looking thing. Anyway, all right. And we've got Oni. Oni, we've got Suika. I probably should have gotten a picture with Yugi also. But anyways, so Oni are very malicious but very boisterous characters. They like to party, as evidenced in Touhou 7.5. But they're ridiculously strong. And Oni have a tendency in Japanese artwork to be portrayed. You know, even though they're like just ridiculously strong and can just crush anyone pretty much at will, they're also depicted with like weapons, just giant weapons to you know, just become overkill. And Katakasa, surprise! Nobody got the clue.
I'm surprised.
I did.
Anyways, the Katakasa is it's a yokai. Oh gosh, I forget the term. But like I was saying, with like, there's weird associations with 100 years in yokai. Every certain objects, when left alone for 100 years, become sentient and become yokai. So like the Karakasa, which is an umbrella, it's not really a violent yokai. It's more about its whole thing is about scaring people. Yeah. So Zune sort of parodied that with Kogasa here by trying to have her continually and unsuccessfully try to surprise your protagonist. I think that's the most surprising thing was her showing up at the very end.
Surprises the player all the time.
She's on the UFO CD.
EX mid-boss.
Right. Okay, so we're gonna finish off our yokai segment with one of the more popular yokai, the Tanuki, who was very recently introduced. She was introduced as the extra boss in the last game. The Tanuki it's like a raccoon dog, but it's actually more closely associated with dogs. And they are actually a real animal out in Japan. They are masters of shape-shifting. So as you can see, like the little leaf on her head, she uses that to aid her in transforming into other things or other shrine maidens. Spoilers, no.
Super Mario Brothers 3 makes a lot more sense.
Yes, yeah. If you think about Super Mario Brothers 3, that's where this whole thing comes from. That's when Mario transforms into the statue, that's where that comes from. Is from the Tanuki.
It's not really dog as much as a bear.
And they love drinking. They love good food.
Doesn't it?
And it's our last one.
Everything
girlfriend.
segues perfectly.
It does. Zune wishes to be the little girl. But I'm pretty sure Zune has on at least one occasion said that Aya is his favorite character.
Yep.
I don't know. Can you?
I say Sanai.
Koga says
Any similarities? Any?
It's so kawaii. What are you doing?
Any-
I love drinking.
I don't see
They're both insane.
it. All right. So moving on. So we're going to talk about the official works in the series. So the official works are not limited to just the games. Zune does also release music in and of itself, separate from the games. He releases serializations of stories for Touhou. He collaborates with doujin artists to create official graphic novels for Touhou. And anyways, so moving on. So starting off with the games first, actually. There are 13 main games in the series, and counting.
number.
So I'm not going to go over all of these, but if you guys are here, you guys have played at least one of these, right?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
They're playing all of them?
And then there's the spin-offs. So the main games are, the traditional Danmaku type games, and then the spin-offs sort of do their own thing. There are 3 fighting games currently. Well, 2 and a kind of like an expansion of the second one. But there are 3 fighting games. They all revolve around interesting incidents that happen, like Reimu Shrine being torn down because of Tenchi, and then also because Suika wants to party hard. And then there's also the photography games, which if you guys want to get serious about Touhou, I definitely recommend the photography games. They feature Aya as the main character, and they're more about dodging than they are about attacking, and also clever use of your bombs, because sort of like her camera shot is sort of like they're in place of a bomb, which clears out some of your bullets. Candy shots?
You forgot Fairy Wars.
Fairy Wars. So I had to give Cyrano her own slide because she doesn't really fit into either of the other categories. That and it just goes to show how popular Cyrano has become as a character, that she could get her own game. And it's sort of like a traditional Danmaku game, but at the same time you have to also like freeze bullets in order to survive.
She's such a 9, she can't dodge them.
Yeah.
The bullets are bigger.
And there's a surprising boss at the end, an EX boss at the end of Fairy Wars. Spoilers, it's a black wife. Anyways.
It's you. I don't want to play now.
Me too. So rad. Again.
What about Seiho?
Anyways. But that's not official. Seiho's not official.
It is official.
It's kind of official.
Semi-official.
Semi. It's a collaborative work. Anyways. And there are the print works, which I was mentioning. There's the doujins. There are there's the serialized stories that he writes. So Silent Sinner in Blue was the first official manga, I think. Wait, was Silent Sinner in Blue, or was it the Aente one?
Inaba is the one.
Inaba. Is Inaba the first one?
No, the first one is
Silent Sinner?
No, what's
first official manga?
Yeah.
It's not Sinner.
Okay.
Inaba follows up.
Anyways, and so there have been several of those. There is a lot of those coming out. And definitely read those if you're interested in the Touhou story, because there's a lot of story that you don't get anywhere else but in these. And you can find most of those translated on the TouhouWiki.net.
Yay.
Shameless plug. I have nothing to do with that website, but shameless plug.
It's lovely.
And so as I was saying, there's a ton of Touhou music. So some of these, I think there's like one or two of these that are remixes, and then a lot of them are original songs. And then also, as you see right here, there is 2 characters right there. These are probably 2 of the only characters that have appeared like as humans from the outside world in Touhou, but they still exist in the outside world. Oh, okay, Sanae, I lied. Sanae is from the outside world, but she doesn't live in the outside world anymore when she first appears. But these 2 characters, Maribel Han and Renko Usami, they are college students living in Japan, and Maribel keeps having these visions of Gensokyo, usually in dreams. There's a lot of speculation that Maribel may be like an outside world version of Yukari, or there's some weird link between the 2, because they look a lot alike. They both wear like these long purple dresses and these poofy bonnet hats, and they have blonde hair. Anyways.
That describes half the Touhou characters, come on.
Yeah.
Well, she goes back in time too.
But there is a strong fan following of that, I believe.
Oh, my
All right, so moving on to the fan works. There are a ton of Touhou fan works. Oh, did you guys hear it? There's going to be a second Touhou Mother. But starting off with the doujinshi, we're gonna keep it clean today. We're keeping it clean.
Oh wait, this is Skype.
All 10%.
This is not Skype. That's what this is.
Oh, now.
Anyways, there's a ton of doujin. So much so that they had to create their own Touhou convention called Redzai. Their own, essentially, it's a Touhou comic head, pretty much. And it's gotten huge. It's gotten to the point where they hold it at the same place as Comic Head at the Tokyo Big Site. Some doujin I might recommend. Oh, the number one that I recommend is 2 Scarlet Sacraments in the Starry Sky. I recommend this at every one of my panels. In my opinion, the single best retelling of Embodiment of the Scarlet Devil. Check it out. I think it's still up on gensokyo.org.
I think it's actually it's part of the torrent.
Okay, yeah, it's still on there. But yeah, if you love Scarlet Devil Mansion, if you love Embodiment of the Scarlet Devil, check out that one. All right, Touhou fan games. So there's a ton of Touhou fan games. There's Touhou fan games that mimic Touhou. There's Touhou fan games that are their own thing. But there's also a ton of Touhou fan games that mimic other games and that parody other video game series. So I mean, so we've got Touhouvania right there. There is which one is this? There's Pseudo Climber, and then there's also one with Alice. I forget which one that is. And then this one is Splatter Faith. If everyone's familiar with Splatterhouse from Genesis. And then Mega Marisa. bunch of different things. There's Touhoumon, but there's, yeah. Anyways, I don't know if I have time. We're not going to show Touhou.
Touhou Mania.
We're just going to not show fan games, we're going to show videos. Okay. So videos. There we go, segue. There's a ton of Touhou fan videos. A large majority of them are actually advertisements for Dojin soundtrack, for fan soundtracks and remixes. Most famously, IOSIS. You may have heard of something called Bad Apple. And then there's also the other videos like yeah, that one's also an advertisement for IOSIS. But there's also been a couple of attempts at a Touhou anime. There was the first one here. I forget the title of that one. The Maikaze one. That's the company that does it anyways. But recently, what? Yes.
It's actually not the first attempt at an unofficial.
Well, no, it's not the first attempt, but it's one of the more finished and distributed ones, widely distributed ones. And then recently, they released a full version of Memories of Phantasm, Fantasy Kaleidoscope. That one's awesome. The kind of sad part about it is when they first released it, there were no voices at all. They just had the sound effects and the music. But Nico Video being Nico Video, went and actually one girl, from what I understand, it was one girl revoiced or did a fan dub of Memories of Phantasm, and are you playing it right there on your phone? Excellent. Anyways, but the one girl fan dubbed all the characters in that, and they did a really good job. Like each character did sound unique and different from each other. You know, even Cerno has a voice.
What can we Google to find? What can we YouTube search to find?
So, you know, yes.
I was saying, what can we search on YouTube to maybe find that video? That dub, you said, because I've never seen that one.
Search Memories of Phantasm Japanese dub.
Okay.
Or it might be under Spring Snow Incident as the title.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's take a look at some of the Touhou videos. Unfortunately, I tried. We don't have internet here, and this is not the computer that I made this PowerPoint on. So I can't show you the anime, that anime. But I can show you other things.
Youmacon, right?
Youmacon too.
Youmacon, yeah. They're
time for one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do one real quick.
Pick your favorite.
Pick your favorite.
You know what? Let's just show the trailer for Memories of Phantasm. Why not?
Greatest remix of Well So God was ever.
That's fine.
Come out with double.
Not bad for fan work, right?
Yeah. What circle does that?
What circle does that? I forget. Is that Youmacon? I don't know. I don't think that was Youmacon. I forget.
Pay more, maybe.
Artist
is set.
Anyways, did we have a question? Okay, so we gotta wrap it up. But thank you everybody for attending the Touhou panel. Really quick guys, was that yokai stuff interesting to anyone?
Yeah!
Okay, cool. Just checking.
Cool to associate the character with them.
Okay, any real quick questions?
Oh, over here.
Okay, Brock.
I was going to ask you, when it comes to fan works, have you heard of the most recent Nitroid?
What was it?
Nitroid.
Is it Nitori and Metroid?
Yep.
That sounds excellent. I need to check that out.
Let's play of it. He's awesome.
Okay.
I love Ralph.
Where should a person start?
Where should someone start to get into Touhou? I would recommend either Embodiment of the Scarlet Devil or Perfect Cherry Blossom. Perfect Cherry Blossom is a bit easier on a beginner.
Perfect cherry.
Yeah. Okay, I have time for like 2 more questions. All right.
What websites do you recommend to import some music, James?
To find the games?
Yeah, soundtracks.
I would. The soundtracks?
Yeah.
The soundtrack. Most of those you sort of just have to torrent. I recommend Waka-chan. The Hendane booth? Yeah, Hendane booth also has some of the legit copies of the CDs. Last one. This guy.
That's a ton of all ages dojins.
Is there a version of Touhou Fortress 2 that has voice acting?
They're doing a new Touhou Fortress skin pack. They're considering doing more voices. There's a Suika voice pack and a Oku voice pack. I use the female scout for Aya. So. All right. Any more questions can be directed towards me at the Touhou photo shoot, which is going to be at the Winter Garden, a couple floors down. All right.
Now?
Right after this one.
Okay.
Oh, Midwest Touhou, friend us on Facebook. All right, thank you.